As I kicked off my solution engineering career, I had a lot of confidence in my technical skills. I will admit some of that confidence may have been unearned early on, but for better or worse, I felt comfortable with the technical unknown just because I was confident that I can learn it. In my first few deals, I was armed with all the right knowledge and I delivered seemingly sound solutions to quite complex issues. But I started to notice that I wasn't really helping a lot of deals get across the finish line. I quickly learned I needed more than technical smarts and to truly understand the why behind the what that I was delivering and to bridge the gap between our product and the customer's deepest business needs in a way that truly resonated. That's when I started to dispel the thought of I'm an engineer, not a salesperson, and really develop my sales chops as an essential skill for solution engineering. Thanks for being here. My name is Cesar Hassan, and I'm a lead solution engineer for data and AI solutions at Salesforce. In today's video, we'll be diving into the fundamental principles of sales relevant to the solution engineering role. We'll explore how solution engineers integrate into the sales process and how we can be true partners to our sales counterparts to effectively position and communicate the value of technical solutions. Let's start with an overview of the sales process and where and how SEs typically fit into it. Initially, I viewed this as hard boundaries between sales and sales engineers, but I learned how to redraw boundaries not only based on the deal stages, but based on my relationships with my account executives. Boundaries are often perceived as limiting, but when applied correctly, they can help all parties flourish. In a given deal cycle, the best SEs don't always just parachute in, deliver technical presentations, then disappear. The best SEs, they play a strategic role within the overall sales cycle. Now, that role can look differently from one deal to another or from one AE to another, but the optimal framework is about engaging through the different stages meaningfully and managing priorities effectively. Let's do a generic overview of the sales cycle and see how SEs can engage just to bring all of this to life. Now, the first step of this generic sales cycle is the initial engagement and discovery. Great sales reps begin the deal cycle with impactful initial engagements. AEs learn the customer business so well, it's like they're an employee there themselves. And they work on qualifying the deal to ensure it warrants the SE support. And we'll talk about qualification a little later. AEs build key relationships with folks like champions, and they figure out all the different people needed to get solutions approved by everyone involved. Great AEs know how to cherry pick which of these initial engagements to loop in their SEs, whether to also build their own key relationships or for tuning in on key insights. This eventually leads to discovery calls with the SE that become paramount because that will inform everything that follows. Without all this effort to truly understand the why of the customer's business objectives, there's a risk for any brilliant technical solution to just fall flat. Then comes the solution design and tailoring stage. This is where the SE drafts the story to tell that delivers a tailored solution to the customer's needs. This isn't about listing features and connecting dots. It's about defining the problem effectively, designing the solution that both addresses the issues and achieves growth and the business objectives. And here, the SE crafts the best delivery method for the different audiences related to this deal. Next comes solution demonstration. This is often the most visible part of the SE role. We present solution demonstrations tailored specifically to the customer's context. These aren't always generic walkthroughs, though they can be, especially in engagements to help with quick validations. These demos can take whatever form needed to best deliver the solution to the customer. There's the demo that's a tailored demonstration that shows the product solving their very need, or it could be something like a workshop that engages the customer directly in the demo. This is why initial engagement and effective discoveries are so important, because they'll help you understand the customer well enough to know the best way to deliver the information to them. Here, the SEs are the go-to for technical questions, and they play a crucial role in overcoming any technical obstacles in the deal. This is most effectively done when followed by honest discussions to address real customer concerns or delivering news that customers may not want to hear, like if certain processes need to change, for instance, when implementing these solutions. These difficult conversations and objection handling are some of the best opportunities to build immense trust with your customers. Then finally, moving towards a close. AEs typically own the commercial aspects here, while SEs build the technical and functional confidence that drives the deal across the finish line. SEs become a trusted partner and expert consultant with a developed familiarity with the customer's business. This puts SEs in a pivotal role of helping customers visualize success and earning their partnership and their business. A deal closed is not just the customer's investment in your solution, but it's also your investment in their success. All these things that SEs deliver and all the roles they play, it helps provide consistent value to customers and build long-term relationships that are vital for the customer retention and for future business. By now, hopefully I've also dispelled any notion you may have had that the solution engineering role is not a sales role. The strategic engagement and partnership of SEs not only highlights the value SEs bring to the table, but the equal importance of the business pillar and industry pillar of solution engineering, besides all the technical expertise. This unique blend of these elements is what truly defines where SEs fit and bring value into the sales process. Now let's take it a step deeper and talk about discovery skills. How to go about asking the right questions to best understand your customers. There are brilliant variations of SE discovery frameworks out there that help prescribe an approach of how to get the best out of discovery engagements with your customers. I'll share a sample here and some key things to keep in mind as you begin to run your own disco calls. First, be ready to go beyond the surface. Customers can come to you with what they think the problem is, and even sometimes explain the solution that they want to implement. As an SE, your outsider perspective can bring tremendous value when looking at the problem from a different angle. Great SEs dig deeper into the problems and draw a big picture from small details to really envision how far this problem ripples out across the business. What may initially start out as a problem stated as a business process taking too long, deeper discovery can then connect how that problem is affecting productivity or increasing costs or getting in the way of revenue or even employee morale. It now frames the problem in a larger aspect as to not just improve the process, but ensure it also solves for overall business success and removing friction between people and technology. All of this requires a genuine interest and curiosity in the customer's business and their ultimate expectations of what the solution looks like. This approach will help you effectively understand their why. Why now? What are the implications of not solving the problem? What key business goals did this solution directly relate to? After understanding what success looks like for them, now you're able to connect your solution to their specific challenges and their desired future state. In the first video of this series, I talked about traits that make great SEs, like curiosity and empathy. This is one of those crucial times that those traits can really shine. You're genuinely interested in the customer's perspective and gathering meaningful insights. That perspective allows you to be empathetic to their objectives and paves a foundation for honest discussions that cover all implications of the proposed solutions. For example, there could be a need to rework processes or a prerequisite project to clean up some data first. So now that you're in the right mindset for a disco call, let's talk about a sample framework SEs can use to bucket different types of questions to ask in their discoveries. For this example, we'll talk about 3 buckets: people, processes, and technology. People buckets the questions around different personas in a given use case. It could be questions about profiling their customer base and understanding their customers' needs, or questions about the employees or AI agents that the solution is tailored towards. Processes, this buckets the questions about the business processes and how they specifically run their operations day to day. And finally, technology. Technology buckets the questions about their technical landscape and the systems they have in place that support their day-to-day operations. Many new SEs start out by creating a guiding template of questions under these buckets. With time and sharper intuition, you'll use these questions as conversation starters, then go with the flow based on the answers you get back. That intuition will also feed the skill of asking the right questions at the right time and being creative with the way you use all your previous solutions that you deliver to other customers and talk about the relevant ones that may apply to quickly validate the direction that they want to go. One way aspiring SEs can start sharpening their intuition is by building up their business acumen and industry knowledge. This is crucial in building up the skill of asking the right questions because you'll also speak the customer's language in your disco calls. If you're already in a specific industry, deepen your knowledge of that industry. If you find yourself as an SE working with customers in that industry, you'll understand acronyms, nuances of regulations, and common ways businesses run their company. This will allow you to connect with customers on their objectives and truly position yourself as a trusted advisor because they'll feel like, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. They know my business, they know my industry, and they'll be able to work with you in a more effective manner. By now, I've made my case to the importance of the business and industry acumen for SEs being just as vital as technical skills. I've talked about how those skills come into play during discovery meetings and in deeply understanding your customers' needs and objectives. And it even applies throughout other deal stages in the sales cycle, like in delivering proposed solutions and killer demos, which we'll talk more about in the next video. Now, I want to talk about understanding deal qualifications. This is crucial for SEs to focus their efforts on what truly matters for closing a deal or the work that will move the needle, if you will. In general, AEs will qualify their deals and review and discuss them with their SEs. And there are various frameworks for deal qualifications. You can look up information about BANT or MEDIC, for example. These frameworks cover similar parameters, and those can help SEs understand what they're walking into. So let's talk about some key parameters and highlight what SEs should be looking for in each one. First, let's start with customer personas. Think about who is the buyer with financial authority. Who are the business's customers? And in the business, who's a champion versus who is typically a cynic or in opposition? Which departments or organization in the company is this solution relevant to or the problem relevant to? This is all valuable information for SEs to research who they'd be working with and strategizing what's needed to win different people over and how to cultivate relationships with these champions and oppositions. Next, there is the decision-making process. Think of this as, how does the customer procure new solutions typically? What teams need to be involved and who needs to sign what? What criteria does the customer typically use to make a purchase? Are there any constraints for us to consider, like budget or a timeline? This also helps both SEs and AEs in their strategy and preparation efforts, but more importantly, these are also key insights for both the AE and the SE to prioritize which deals to focus on. And finally, there's the identifying pain points and success metrics. Think about this as, what's the headline version of the challenge the customer is facing? What's the business problem? What quantifiable metrics or benefits does the customer expect to achieve by solving this? This will feed into the SE discovery to kick off various conversations. Understanding the metrics here that they care about and how their business makes or loses money will also help the SE articulate the value of the proposed solution and truly the ways that resonate with the customer and directly tie it back to quantifiable business impacts. In the real world, you'll get deals coming your way with maybe a little bit of these qualifications or maybe even none at all. This qualification framework is primarily meant to help you and your AE prioritize and strategize which deals to tackle. Use this framework to ask follow-up questions with your AEs and evaluate if a deal is truly ready to run. There's only so much time in a quarter, and both AEs and SEs need to make the best use of their time. Remember, AEs are your partners in crime, and this is meant to help everyone get on the same page. Not every deal is qualified, and that's okay. There may even be times where your judgment will tell you to support unqualified deals to some extent, just to build more trust with your AEs and build some bridges with others. Or maybe it's for a prospect who's not ready right now, but you and your AE feel like it may be a strong deal in the future, so you're trying to plant some seeds. As I mentioned earlier in this video, it's okay to draw boundaries using these qualification parameters, especially when it's done as a partnership with your AEs in a way that serves as a strong foundation for trust, productivity, and prioritization, which is really important to understand which deals to tackle first. Sounds good? All right, let's wrap up. Solution engineering is truly a versatile role where the technical side is only half the story. Today, we explored the vital business and sales perspectives of the SE role, covering how and when SEs strategically engage in the sales process. We talked about the art of asking the right questions in discovery and the profound importance of understanding your customers' true pain points and their perspective. We also touched on familiarizing yourself with industries and sales methodology to sharpen your business and industry pillars and enhance your overall approach. Besides being technical experts, solution engineers possess vital soft skills, strong business acumen, and the ability to conduct impactful discoveries and demos. It's about applying your technical chops and product knowledge, business understanding, and industry context, all to solve specific business needs for your customers. As you become more proficient in these fundamentals, you'll find yourself better equipped to deliver solutions that resonate with your audiences and deepen trust with your customers and colleagues. In the next video, we'll focus on how to craft and present demos that captivate your audience and drive positive outcomes. Before then, as always, I'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest aha moment about the sales side of the SE role that you got from this video? What aspect of sales or business acumen do you feel is most crucial to develop for yourself? What else did I miss here that you'd be interested to learn more about? Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps me plan future content that will be most beneficial to you. I've already received feedback and follow-up questions from people engaging with my content here and LinkedIn articles, and I can't thank you enough for your insights. It's very helpful for me to understand any gaps and how I can best address them in the future content. So thanks again, and until next time.